The hidden struggles: understanding and supporting children who feel emotionally isolated. Every child deserves to feel emotionally supported and secure, but for some, life circumstances create an environment where emotional isolation becomes the norm. This sense of abandonment, whether caused by neglect, inconsistency in caregiving, or trauma, manifests in various ways. The children who feel they have no one to emotionally rely on can exhibit subtle, yet profound behaviors that impact their development. As caregivers, educators, and community members, it's crucial to recognize these signs, understand their underlying causes, and provide the support these children need to heal and thrive. 1. Withdrawal and social isolation, a shield against hurt. When children feel emotionally abandoned or unsupported, their first instinct may be to withdraw from the world around them. This can look like a child who prefers solitary activities, avoids playing with peers, or shuts themselves off from family interactions. While this might seem like simple introversion or shyness, it is often a coping mechanism. The child may fear emotional injury or rejection and thus isolates themselves to protect their heart from further pain, the root cause of withdrawal. For these children, emotional vulnerability feels like a risk. The lack of a reliable emotional support system may lead them to believe that trusting others will only lead to disappointment. Whether through inconsistent parenting, neglect, or personal trauma, their emotional withdrawal is a defense mechanism, an attempt to regain control in a world where they feel powerless. Supporting social reconnection. As difficult as it may be, re-engaging withdrawn children requires patience and persistence. Begin by providing a safe, nurturing environment where the child can take small, manageable steps towards re-entering social situations. Use non-threatening approaches, like inviting them to engage in quiet group activities, allowing them to slowly acclimatize to being around others without pressure. Additionally, modeling healthy interactions can help these children see that not all relationships are harmful. Encourage social play with peers who are kind and understanding to help rebuild their social skills and trust in others. 2. Excessive anxiety or fear. The constant worry of abandonment. Anxiety often follows emotional isolation like a shadow, especially in children who feel unsupported or insecure. These children may experience irrational fears or heightened anxiety in everyday situations. They might worry about being abandoned, being alone, or not being able to handle stress. Their fears might seem disproportionate, yet for them, every uncertainty can feel like a potential catastrophe. Why anxiety develops in emotionally isolated children. For emotionally isolated children, anxiety is often linked to a lack of emotional reassurance. They may have been exposed to inconsistent caregiving or experienced trauma that disrupted their sense of safety. When a child doesn't feel emotionally anchored, they develop a constant sense of alertness, fearing that anything can go wrong at any time. Alleviating anxiety with emotional support. To help ease anxiety, offer consistent reassurance and predictable routines. Children who feel emotionally isolated benefit from knowing what to expect and having adults who consistently show up for them. Listening attentively to their worries and acknowledging their fears without dismissing them helps build trust. Teaching coping mechanisms like deep breathing or visualization can also help children feel more grounded and capable of managing their emotions in overwhelming situations. 3. Aggression and irritability, the mask of emotional pain. When children lack emotional security, they may lash out or act aggressively as a way of expressing their unmet emotional needs. Their irritability is often not a sign of misbehavior, but rather an indication that they are overwhelmed, frustrated, and unsure of how to express their internal turmoil. These outbursts, while difficult to manage, are cries for help, an attempt to communicate that something is wrong, even if they can't articulate it. The cycle of aggression and emotional distress. Aggression often serves as a protective shield. For children who feel emotionally abandoned, acting out can be a way of asserting control over their environment. This behavior is often a response to fear or anger at being unable to rely on others for comfort. In some cases, children might feel that aggression is the only way to get attention, especially if they have been neglected or ignored in the past. Helping children express emotions healthily. Redirecting aggressive behavior requires addressing the emotional root causes. Instead of focusing solely on the outburst, try to uncover what triggered the anger. Offer safe, healthy outlets for their emotions, such as physical activity, art, or journaling. It's essential to model appropriate ways of handling frustration and to provide a safe space for the child to express their feelings without fear of judgment. Over time, with emotional support and positive reinforcement, children can learn healthier ways to cope with their feelings. 4. Depression or low mood. The weight of emotional neglect. Children who feel they have nobody to emotionally rely on are more vulnerable to depression. These children may exhibit signs of persistent sadness, lack of interest in activities, or a general sense of hopelessness. They might isolate themselves further or express that they don't see the point in trying. These signs often go unnoticed because children may not have the words to explain their feelings of emptiness. The hidden pain of depression in children. Depression in children who feel emotionally unsupported is often a quiet struggle. These children may believe they are unworthy of attention or affection, leading to a diminished sense of self-worth. If a child has been deprived of consistent emotional validation, they may start to internalize the message that they are unloved or unimportant, nurturing hope and positivity. Rebuilding a child's sense of hope requires more than just comforting them in times of sadness. It's about helping them rediscover their worth, praise their efforts, no matter how small, and create opportunities for them to experience joy in their day-to-day lives. Offering opportunities for success, like learning new skills or excelling at small tasks, can help restore a sense of accomplishment and self-esteem. Professional therapy can also be invaluable in addressing deeper emotional wounds and helping children process their feelings in a safe environment. 5. Difficulty expressing emotions. The silent struggle. Children who feel emotionally abandoned may struggle with expressing themselves. This can take the form of emotional numbness, where the child feels disconnected from their own feelings, or an inability to verbalize what they're going through. They might feel overwhelmed by their emotions, but lack the vocabulary or safety to articulate them. The impact of emotional suppression. When children do not have a reliable emotional outlet, they learn to suppress their feelings. This can lead to internalized stress, poor emotional regulation, and challenges in building meaningful relationships. Emotional expression is a skill that needs to be nurtured, and when children are deprived of that opportunity, they can struggle later in life with processing emotions healthily. Helping children express their emotions. A key way to support children who have trouble expressing their emotions is by encouraging them to talk about their feelings in a safe, judgment-free space. Using art, storytelling, or even play therapy can help children who struggle to verbalize their feelings express themselves in alternative ways. It's essential to be patient, acknowledging that it may take time for the child to trust you enough to open up. How we can help. Providing consistent emotional support. Children who feel emotionally isolated need a consistent and reliable support system to help them heal. As caregivers, educators, or community members, we must be patient and understanding, offering emotional security at every turn. Here are some crucial steps to support children who feel they have no one to rely on. 1. Be there consistently. One of the most important things we can offer emotionally isolated children is consistent emotional support. This means being present for them during their difficult moments and making sure they feel safe to express themselves. Consistency in routine and behavior helps build trust and security, allowing the child to feel grounded and valued. 2. Encourage emotional expression. Helping children put words to their emotions is key. Encourage them to express their feelings in healthy ways and provide them with tools to do so, whether it's through conversation, art, or physical activity. The goal is to create an environment where they feel safe and supported, allowing them to explore their emotions without fear of rejection. 3. Create a sense of belonging. Fostering a sense of community is critical for children who feel emotionally isolated. Whether at home, in school, or within a broader community, it's essential to provide opportunities for children to connect with others in meaningful ways. Encourage participation in group activities, foster peer relationships, and create bonds that remind the child they are not alone. 4. Seek professional help if needed. In cases where emotional isolation has deeply impacted the child, seeking professional support can provide critical help. Therapists or counselors specializing in children's emotional health can help children process trauma, develop coping strategies, and rebuild healthy attachment styles. Conclusion: the path to healing. Children who feel emotionally isolated carry a heavy burden. Their behavior often serves as a silent cry for help, and as caregivers, it's our responsibility to listen, understand, and offer support. With patience, empathy, and consistent care, these children can learn to trust again, build emotional resilience, and ultimately develop the skills they need to foster healthy, supportive relationships in the future. Let's be the emotional safety net they need to thrive.